A tall woman with a nice big ass, like Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion.
Ain't touch me like Gojo. Look good at all my photos. Arigato. Ain't touch me like Gojo. Look good at all my eyes. What bitches think they better than me? I'm like, nah, ho. Everybody knows who know is the Meg. All of these niggas be feeling attached. Y'all niggas be my biggest haters, knowing if we met your phone like paper. It's landed in Kyoto. I'm more what these bitches local.
My girl. Another album. Okay. So, hello booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole, and I am back with another video. So today I'm going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. I almost forgot about this one. I don't be forgetting about it, but I usually wait until the month of June is over. So I'm just like, y'all be putting them up a little early, don't you? Like, what if you end up finding your favorite book in June? Like, damn. Hold your horses there. Hold your horses. But I'm here to do the mid-year freakout tag. This is a booktube staple. I know we got newbies on here. Y'all know. But this tag is here to stay, baby. Like, we just can't get rid of this one, okay? Let me fix the camera a little bit. We look into another bookshelf. All right. Okay. So let me get a little higher. Okay, so I have a healthy stack of books. So all of the books I'm gonna be talking about aren't in the stack, but these are the ones that I have, so I felt like I should put them here to make it a little bit easier on future editing Capri. So you're welcome. The first question is, how is my reading year going? I think I'm at 41 books right now. Yeah, I'm at 41 books. My goal for the year was 30 books. I like setting it low because when I set it high, I get overwhelmed and I end up not reading the books. So far my reading year is going pretty good. It's slow like I wanted it to be. I'm only reading fantasy books this year. So I've just been trying to find books that I'm genuinely interested in and I've kind of been holding out on. So it's going fine. I found some new ones that I really loved. I found some new authors that I really love. So I'm excited to talk about them in this tag. Let's see, best book. Y'all already know my best book is. My best book of the year. Hold on, it's at the bottom of the stack. Hold on. I gotta be gentle with her. My best book of the year, obviously, is Feybound, baby. Like, Feybound was my favorite book of the year. I loved it. I love the setting. I love the plot. I love the descriptions. I love the characters. It was my favorite book of the year, and it got me out of like almost a year of no 5-star reads. This is my first 5-star read in like 10 months. So she's near and dear to my heart, okay? She's near and dear to my heart. Best sequel. So my best sequel would be, I have two. So my best sequels would be Beast of War, which I think is the third book in the Beast of Prey series. I don't know if the sequel has to be the second book in the series. This is the third book in the series, and I really enjoyed this one because I'm pretty sure this is the one where it's depicting her mother. I just like stories that dive into like generational experiences, because like, you know, when you see someone's mother in a book and they're a little bit harder on them or they have a specific mindset, you're just like, why are you like this? So I just like when you actually get to see why they are like this. Like, you see their upbringing, you see things that they experience in their life, and that whole book just reminded me of this movie I used to watch with my grandmother. So it's an old movie. I can't even remember what it's called. It's like where the girl is like she's half black but she's white passing, and she really disrespects her mother. I can't remember what it's called, but I talked about it in my April wrap-ups. It reminded me a lot of that movie, and when I listened to the author's note, she said that it was inspired by that. Let me look it up because it's gonna drive me it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't actually say the name. Imitation of Life, that's what it was. Imitation of Life. I used to watch this with my grandmother a lot, and the third book in the Beast of Prey series is inspired by that, and it definitely felt like that. So when I read the author's note, it all made sense. It all started clicking. Second book that I have is The Fires of Vengeance, which is the second book in Evan Winter's series. I can't remember what the name of the series is called. The Burning. It's called The Burning. No one ever calls book series by the book series names because we all just assume the title is tied into the series names, and it's starting to seem like that's not always the case. But yeah, the second book in what was the first one called? The Rage of Dragons. So the second book in the Rage of Dragons series, this also was a really good one. There was some crazy scenes in this. Like, my stomach hurt reading some of these scenes in this book, and I still think about this book to this day. I think it would be a phenomenal TV show, and it would just be great to see on screen because we be looking for character development when it comes to Tao, and we just simply will never get it. Like, he just gets worse and worse. He really just gets worse. But just seeing him bury himself is kind of entertaining. So I just live, laugh, love Tao. Like, I can't give him up. Like, he's one of my favorite characters. He just be doing the most chaotic, insane things. He lets those intrusive thoughts win every time. So second book was a phenomenal experience, I will say that. I did not put this little stack in order here. Oh, I don't want to damage any of my books. So the next question is my favorite reread of the year, and I started off my year with a reread, which was Dowry of Blood. This is one of my favorite books, and I reread it as like my first book of the year because I just wanted to start off on a good note. I wanted to set the tone for the books that I was reading and the year that I wanted to have. So I just read a book that I knew was an old faithful and would still hold up, and it was good old Dowry of Blood. So this obviously is, I think this was my only reread as well. Oh no, I reread Children of Blood and Bone too, but this was my favorite reread. I will say that. What genre have you been reading or loving the most? So as I said earlier, I'm only reading fantasy this year, and it's going pretty good. A lot of the Islanders was worried about me because they were just like, girl, but fantasy is my favorite genre. So I just was getting a little frustrated. I wasn't getting frustrated, but I would look at the books that I read at the end of the year and I would just be like, damn, I didn't read that many fantasy books. Like, I would be reading more like Kindle books or Kindle romance books because it was catered more to my content. But I'm just like, I'm the content creator. Like, the content will still be created no matter what I read. So I'm just like, this is one of my favorite genres, and it wasn't reflecting that in my reading year. So I just said only fantasy this year. So only fantasy and fantasy romance, and so far it's been going really well. It is a slower reading year because some of the fantasy books I've read have been a little more dense. Some of them have been YA, some of them have, well, not a lot of them have been short, but a lot of them have been like a mix. But when it comes to fantasy, you have to wrap your brain around it. All of the books that I've read have not been books that I had to really wrap my brain around, like epic fantasy. There's historical fantasy, there's fantasy romance, there's manga that's fantasy. So, you know, when you think of fantasy, it's not only epic fantasy as the only option. So I don't feel too overwhelmed, but it definitely is more of a slower reading year for me, and that's okay because my main goal was to make sure that I read only fantasy books this year. And I'm feeling like another blackout year is coming, which, if you're new here, because I have a lot of new Islanders, welcome. But if you're new here, my blackout years are where I only read books by Black authors. So I'm feeling like I might be doing that next year, but so far this year has been going pretty good, slow and steady. So the next question is a new release that I want to read, and it is The Whining, I don't even know how to pronounce it. The Whining. The Whining. And I keep seeing this book on TikTok. The author keeps talking about how she pitched this book to publishers and no one was really feeling it like that. So I have already pre-downloaded it because I'm going to be reading it on my Hot Girl Reading vlog, which I will be traveling tomorrow, so I'll be gone for the whole week. If you want to see my traveling vlogs, they're over on my Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Top tier, baby. Sandcastles only. They're the only ones that get the traveling vlogs. So all of my traveling vlogs will be over on Patreon. But I am traveling and I have this book downloaded. The cover is absolutely beautiful and I'm really excited to read this because we're slowly creeping into summer, which means we're going to be creeping into fall, and I love the fall season and the fall vibes and the fall books. And I'm pretty sure this is like a book where someone's body is being possessed or something like that. So I didn't want to read too much into it, but I did hear what the author said the book was about, and just as soon as I heard it, I was like immediately pre-ordered. So that's definitely a book it comes out tomorrow, so it's a new release and I'm excited to read it. I'm hoping it goes well. So the next question is anticipated books I have for the second half of the year, and I have two. Both of them actually come out on the same day. One of them is The Maid and the Crocodile, and there's two covers I've seen for this one because I was confused when I went back and I was like, that's not the cover I remember. But yeah, there's two covers for this one. I don't fully remember what it's about. I think it's like a African mythology book, something like that, but I don't want to read the synopsis because they be giving too much away. All I know is the cover eats, and I know I read or saw someone mention this book and I immediately added it to my TBR. I'm just gonna go off past me vibes, and I'm not gonna reread the synopsis because I don't want to get spoiled. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is Mistress of Lies, and this book has been recommended highly to people that enjoy it. I can't remember what book it was, or it was like people that like Slytherin main characters. Books that have people that have a Slytherin main character personality trait, I just know they're gonna be like a morally gray character. So any books that have morally gray characters, they're really more interesting. I don't like books that have goody two shoes, and I don't like books that have people that don't listen and are very villainous. They're interesting to follow along, but I prefer morally gray because it's just like it makes the reading experience a little bit more enjoyable. So The Cover Eats, I've heard great things about it. People that have arcs of this book have rated this book really highly, so I'm hoping it goes well. I hope it doesn't get too like overhyped. I'm feeling like it's just gonna be a book that is a good book. I don't think it's gonna be overhyped. I think it's gonna actually live up to the standards, so I guess we'll see when I read it. And they both come out on August 13th. The next question is biggest disappointment of the year, and that is on the top of my stack. It would be Lore of the Wilds. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this book, but you can bet your bottom dollar I will be dragging this book in my most disappointed books of the year. So I don't want to say too much about it because y'all know how I get, but I was so surprised that I really hated this book. And then when I went back and saw that everyone else also hated it, I felt like it was warranted, because I was like, damn, am I the only one? Everyone was so excited for this book, and I hate to see it because this is a black author. The cover is gorgeous. Like, the hype for this book was crazy, and just for it to be let down was just like, damn, like, damn. But I will get into specifics in my most hated or worst books of the year, whatever video that is, child. Worst books of the year, y'all will definitely see this damn book. But it just sucks. I hope the author does grow, because I would like to pick up the second book in the series. I feel like a lot of people are still hopeful because her idea and the premise was good, but the execution the execution is where we lacked. So I'm hoping that she grows as the author and she learns from her mistakes and she takes the reviews she sees and doesn't take it to heart. It is hard to see your baby just get destroyed on Goodreads, but you know what, take it as a learning lesson and just grow from it, because I'm pretty sure this was her debut, so I'm hoping the second one is better. Biggest surprise of the year, and I would have to say it is Bound by, I think it's like Bound by the Vori. I'm not a alien sci-fi girl. Like, I've never been that girl. I have tried so hard. Like, people get so excited about some of these books that are set in outer space, and it's weird because, like, I have a robotics background. I'm really interested in technology and learning stuff about that, but the second that you put it in a book, I don't know what it is, I just don't give a shit. Like, the robots, the planets, the science, baby, you lost me. Like, maybe it's just a little bit too scientific for me. And then we have the alien romances. It never gave what it needed to give. I don't know or understand the craze around alien romances, because those are reptiles. Like, those are literal reptiles, and when I think about aliens, I just think like slimy. So it's just nothing sexy to me about a slimy man. Like, that is gross. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I can't say too much though, because I like monster romances, but it's just something about that is just so off-putting to me. So I never got into it. But this book, it was something about this book. I read it in my New York hot girl reading vlog, and I was so excited because I really, really loved it. It's a little insta-lovey, but I really like this book. I just feel like the politics of it, all of the characters were interesting and fun to follow along. The sex scenes were phenomenal. The cover eats down. Like, you know, it was just really good. Like, I know people are skeptical because the author is white but the main character is black, but I feel like she did a good job depicting this character. I don't feel like she overdid it. I didn't feel like she made her into a stereotype. I feel like she was a very sensitive writer when it came to this, and she did has, I'm pretty sure she has a sensitivity reader, so I feel like she did a good job with this book, and I feel like the execution was great. And I almost gave this book 5 stars, low-key. Like, I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and I think the length of the book also made it more enjoyable because it wasn't fast-paced, but I was getting through the book. I've been having difficulties with these really huge books where I'm getting along and I'm enjoying it, but it's just like, it feels like it's never gonna end. So it was nice to read that one because it was a little bit on the shorter side, and yeah, it definitely was a surprise, but one that I'm grateful for. New favorite author. So I don't think I have a new favorite author, but I do have authors that have piqued my interest. Ken Liu, who wrote The Grace of Kings. I read the first 2 books in the series, and these books are very dense, but the characters, the plot, the world building, there's gods in this book, it's just so well done. Like how I was saying earlier, I like seeing what makes characters villainous or seeing why they are the way they are. And the first book kicks off with an emperor who basically wipes out every race. He commits a genocide, but he does it because he thinks that he's bettering the world. Who the hell that commits a genocide doesn't think that they're doing that? So he does this because he thinks that, okay, if we're all one culture, we're all one community, we'll be closer and more together. But some of those people in different cultures and different races survived, and they want his ass dead. So the whole series is kind of following that, and you see the other emperors later come into play. You see the warriors, you see the world building, the politics, like the kings, the queens, the princesses, the engineers, like just everything that makes royalty flow. I don't know, it's so interesting to me because it's more fun to follow along because the characters are also really interesting. So I don't know, it's very dense. It definitely is a dense book, but I love books that have heavy politics and also being able to see the characters develop. So Ken Liu is definitely someone I'm looking out for because he has a very interesting way of writing that definitely captures your attention. New favorite character. So new favorite character would have to be Thimble from, what is the name of that damn book everybody's talking about? Child, I forgot the name of the book. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Legends and Lattes. Okay, so the little mouse that's in Legends and Lattes, the first book, he makes pastries, and he's just so cute. He doesn't really talk like that, but he makes pastries, and he likes coffee. So, and his name is Thimble. Like, he just was such a precious character. I just thought he was so cute. I loved his character in this book, and he just set the scene, you know what I'm saying? He brought the people in. So he definitely was one of my favorite characters. Book that made me cry. None. Go ahead and cross that off. Honestly, books don't make me cry. Like, I don't think I've ever read a book that has made me cry ever in life. Like, I've read books that might make me tear up, or books can make me angry, but I don't think they've ever made me cry. Like, I'll cry watching a Disney movie, I'll cry watching film because I can see, and when I read I see things in my head, but it's just not the same. I don't think every time I do this, I don't think I've ever said a book has made me cry from what I remember. Like, from what I remember. So let's move right along. Books that have made me happy. None. Honestly, I don't know, because like the books that I've read, they haven't been mid. I've been having a pretty good reading year, but I haven't really read a book that made me like, oh, this is so cute, this is so fun, this is so, like, it would have cute fun moments, but it didn't have me like smiling from ear to ear the entire book. Like, I haven't felt that yet. I mean, I can't think of any, honestly. I really cannot. So let's move on to the next book. Most beautiful book. I actually have 3 books that are my most, or 2. I have 3. Yeah, I have 3 books that are my most beautiful. Okay, so y'all already know what the first one's gonna be. Obviously, Feybound. My boyfriend got me this edition. It's purple and pink, and the best part is this mat. Like, just the colors of this, it's so beautiful. everything about this is just makes it a beautiful copy. I don't even touch this book. It literally just sits on my bookshelf because I don't want anything to happen to it. But just the detailing, the quality of like the paper, like the quality of the paper of the, what is this called, the dust jacket, the quality of the dust jacket is so nice. It's like it has these engravings and it kind of makes it feel like it's lifted in a way. I don't know. It has this really good quote. It says, in the beginning there were 3 gods. So I don't know, this is one of my favorite books, most beautiful books that I have gracing my shelves. Like, look at those stenciled edges. Oh, it's just so pretty. I could never get enough of this book. It's just, look at it. Look at that. Oh my god. Just look, like, this is one of my most prized possessions. I love this. It's just so beautiful. So that's the first one. The next one will have to be Dragon Fruit. So it's just, come on, man. Like, I just recently finished this. I read it on Our Island on Fable, which is my book club. You can join for free over there if you would like to read with us. I think we're gonna be reading The Poison We Drink because that's currently what's winning for July. So we'll see how that goes. But I just wrapped this one up. But it's just edges. Hello. They're so pretty. Like, I just love colorful things. So just the colors in that just eats. And I had to show this one. I just got this one at my first author event, and look at it. It's the 3rd and final book in the Children of Blood and Bone series, and it's just so beautiful. Like, come on, are you kidding me? Hello? Like, it's just like, look at her eyes. Like, it's just so beautiful. Like, I just love the diversity in the covers that we get now. I'm just so grateful to just be a part of the book community now where I can actually see these covers, because growing up it was not like that. But those are my 3 most beautiful books. Book that I need to finish before the end of the year. Day of Fallen Night. Oh my god. Y'all know how I was saying earlier, some of these big ass books that I've been reading, even if I'm enjoying it, they just feel like they're never gonna end. I got halfway through this book and I saw I still had 400 pages left, and I just put this book down and I never picked it back up. Even like sometimes I'll think about this book and I'm like, damn, I should really pick that book up, not out of obligation, but because I'm really curious about how the story goes and I was really enjoying it. But damn, this book is long as hell. Like, and it's not even just regular long. Like, okay, 800 pages is a lot, but it's not like 2,000 pages. But the font, the size of these pages and the font, it's actually double. Like, it really is double. Like, this is not a normal 800 pages. But I started this book last year and I still have not finished it, and we're halfway through this year. I cannot have a book that I've been halfway through for 2 years. That is insanity. It needs to be finished before this year ends. Like, imagine saying it took me 2 years to finish this book. Like, girl, get it together. Like, what do you have going on? But I'm gonna finish it, I swear. I have this much left, so hopefully I get it done before the year ends, or I will just be ashamed of myself. Oh, I always forget this. I always forget the same question. Okay, the next question is favorite video that I posted this year. And honestly, I love all of my videos because I put so much effort into all of my videos, but my favorite videos are honestly the travel ones. The travel ones and the recommendation videos are my favorite because I just like putting out videos that help other people find and diversify their read. I would love to live in a world where people give book recommendations and we're included in those recommendations, but for some reason I have to put black book recommendations, black this, black that, whatever, in order for, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I would like if I search like hairstyles, I would like to see hairstyles that are for black women, white women, Hispanic women, whatever. I want to see all of us on that search. And if I put like romance book recommendations. I want to see black books, books by white authors, books by Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? I hate that I have to do that, but I'm here to please the people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to, you know, put out books that are by black authors because I want to support my folks. So I don't have a problem with doing that. So those are some of my favorite books, favorite videos to do. My travel vlogs are my favorite. So my favorite one that I did this year would have to be the New York one because it's like an hour long, and just the vibes was there. Like my cousin was there, my sister was there. I had such a good time. Like I was really proud of myself because I understood the subway system, and I was like traveling from borough to borough. Like I was all over New York. Like I was all over New York, and it was so cheap. Like it was so cheap. I have good memories with that vlog. It was a little rough, a little rocky in the beginning, but overall I was reading a great book. I spent time with my family. I was all over the city. I went to a ton of bookstores. I got 2 really good videos out of that, so it was nice. I had a good time. My travel videos are definitely my favorite. The final question is favorite book community members. So I have 4. I have 4 community or 4 booktubers that I've been watching a lot recently. Honestly, I just got out of a reading slump, and I've really been watching a lot of like anime YouTubers, so I had to like scroll through my like watch list to see like the most recent things I've been watching, because I'm slowly getting back into like Booktuber videos because I've been watching a lot of like anime YouTubers. But the ones that I wrote down are Mayabeatriz. I really like her vlogs. She lives in New York. She's just like the it girl of New York. I really like her vlogs. Alexa Ray, I like her too. She has a very chill, soft vlog, and I just like her. She's really good at like shots, like how Chandler's videos were really good at like shots. Like she just has this aesthetic that's just like really cute. So I just like following along, seeing what she's reading. Moonlit Reads. So these last 2 are people that I've recently subscribed to, which they're also in my Black Booktubers playlist, which we're at 83 Black Booktubers. So my goal is to get to 100 before the end of the year. So if you are looking for Black Booktubers, I have a playlist on my page. I don't want to hear no excuses. Go and find those creators that you genuinely enjoy and close your mouth. I don't want to hear there's no Black Booktubers. I got 82 on my page, 83 actually, so go find them. But these last 2 are people that I've recently subscribed to, and one is Moonlit Reads. I found her when I started veering back into booktubers videos. She's a booktuber, but she talks about anime too, so it kind of was like the perfect mix to just like get me out of that slump. And I started watching her videos. I really enjoy them. And then there's It's Morgan. The first video that I watched of hers was where she was talking about Black booktubers, and it's always so interesting being an OG Black booktuber and just seeing the same topics be brought up over and over and over again, like every 2 years. It's absolutely, anyone that's been on here for like the past like 5 to 10 years, I think I'm on my like 6th year, so it's like we've seen these same topics. But it's always interesting to see like fresh eyes and fresh voices come onto this platform and talk about the same woes. I'm just hoping eventually those woes go away. But that was the first video that I watched of hers, and I've been watching a lot of her videos. So those are my 4 booktubers I've been enjoying, and that's the end of this tag. My battery light is flashing, so I need to go. That is the end of the 2024 mid-year freakout tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time. If you made it to the end, please leave this emoji so I know you've made it there. I will see you in the comments, and a special thank you to all my patrons, okay? I will see y'all next time. All right, bye. I'm done, and it didn't cut off. Haha. My bad, bitch. I'm pretty than a motherfucker. Hoes be looking okay.